Hello and welcome to On Your Lane, the best place for ambitious people who are taking charge of their lives. Hello. And today we're talking about money mindset. All right, so here's the story. I had no idea, none, what money mindset meant. I had never heard of it ever till last year, right? So like 2019 is when I started reading a number of things and I bumped into a topic that was saying money mindset, and I was like, what is this about? What do you mean money mindset? Who needs money mindset? It didn't make sense to me. But then I started exploring this topic because I love to read and I love to learn, and I was like, okay, let me be open, because I had been operating in my business for about 3 years at that point, and I was not doing so good on the money front. I am a finance professional, and so I expected my expertise to help me, but I seemed to not be able to grab and understand what this money was about and how money would flow and how it works in a business like mine. So I would manage money in a corporate setup. I could manage it, I could do reports, I could budget for it and do all that good stuff and those fancy ratios and trends and everything and use standards to account for it. But I couldn't I couldn't generate it for myself in my business, and I did not understand why. Not that I couldn't generate it proper, but it was sporadic. It was here, then not there, and I didn't understand what was going on. So as I started working on my own mindset, on my own beliefs, then this money mindset stepped up again with a red flag, like dun, dun, dun. You have to work on your money mindset. So let's talk about money, right? Money, what is it? Money is just a legal tender. Oh, I always wonder, what does that mean? Why do people say legal tender? What does that mean? But it's a representation of value. Without money, people were using items, right? So what do you want? You want salt? I have salt. I have a bag of salt, but I want rice. Oh, okay. So rice means 12 bags of salt. Oh, really? Okay, I'll give you 12 bags of salt. You give me rice. What are you exchanging? Value. So money is just a way to represent the value that people have and they're exchanging. So instead of all that barter trade, we now give each other money. So money is a tool. It has no personality, it has no character. And that really hit me hard because I grew up surrounded by poverty. I grew up in the hood in Malawi, Africa, Southern Africa. So I didn't grow up in poverty like in my house, but I was surrounded by it a lot. I grew up in the hood, so my parents were trying their best. We were pretty much low income, but not at the bottom. So we never struggled for food. My parents would try to get me, not try, sent me to a private school, but I think it took a lot for them to be able to send me to a private school. And I remember I used to walk, it was quite some distance, not because my parents couldn't give me money, but because I didn't have a car and the bus would only stop at a certain point. So I had to walk away. It was quite a long way for a kid, but it was normal and it was a privilege for me to go to that school. It was exciting, right? So I grew up seeing a lot of poverty, seeing a lot of lack, and that being normal. I used to wonder as a child why we didn't live in better neighborhoods, why we didn't have cars and stuff. I think our family had our first car when I was maybe 12, maybe, right? So I grew up seeing cars but not being owning one. So it was exciting when we got one. It was a big deal for us. But anyway, so I grew up seeing all this, and it brings a certain type of reverence for money. It is an unhealthy start in a relationship where you see it, you desire it, and you wonder why you don't have it, but there's no explanation. So you have these statements that are made. Money doesn't grow on trees. You have, like, it is really reverence for money. You understand that not everybody can have it, and it is really special, and we don't even know how to get it, right? So that is the setup that I had growing up. And then as I grew up and started getting deeper and experimental with my faith, I was really drawn to a faith that emphasized pain and poverty and perseverance. I don't understand why, but that is what drew me to religion. Like, that's the kind of mindset I had. So I could not pursue money, not even in a healthy way, like I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna get money. No. But deep down inside me, I wanted to create a business from a young age because I figured if I create a business, then I create an economy and I make people's lives better because I didn't like seeing poverty or people struggling. So in my young mind, I thought I'm going to create a business at some point. It's going to be in agriculture because it seems to be what works for most countries. After going through history and geography, I learned a lot about countries moving from agriculture to manufacturing and everything. So I figured we need to start from the bottom. So we're going to start agriculture. So I, from a young age, decided I'm going to invest in agriculture. And from that time, like, okay, well, I'm going to invest in agriculture and make money and employ people. So it felt noble. I was not going to make money for myself. It felt like wrong to desire money for myself. It felt really selfish to not be grateful for what I had. And it's not like I was not grateful, but you know, that desire for more, the desire for better was just really suppressed. So even as my family got better, my parents were working hard, we moved away from the low income to middle income, and now we could have more things and we could have exposure, more cars and all that stuff, and our life got better. I still felt like wrong, felt wrong about having more or wanting more. I was grateful for what we had, but it was really just a weird relationship that was there. I don't know what kind of relationship you had with money, but it is really important for you to look back to your childhood, because most of who we are, the foundation of who we are, is formed when we are around 7 or below, around there. And so going back to that place and understanding what was your environment, what was the talk around that time, what were the mindsets that were being installed in you at that time, really opens a lot of doors. So what is your current money mindset? So I had this mindset for so long, and being a driven person who wanted to do well, I just had these weird habits around money. So I was a finance professional, and I would manage money in that space, but my own money made me a little queasy. I never wanted to have a budget. I never wanted to know how much money was left in my account. I just didn't. Not that I didn't have enough money. My job was really good. I had money. I didn't have loans. I didn't want loans because loans were a big deal working in a bank. There were so many low interest loans that people would get for fun and for building and everything. I didn't want those. So no loans for me. And I never checked my balance, my bank balance. I just spent money, tried to be as wise as possible, as frugal as I could. And then sometimes I'd just spend and be frugal, up and down kind of behaviors, but never ever check my balance. And I just thought that's me being carefree. And over time, I realized no, it wasn't me being carefree. I just had a weird relationship with money. I didn't understand how to make it, how it came to people, how it came to me. And I didn't want to feel controlled by it. So I sort of like felt I should disempower it by not managing it or not seeing how much of it was at the bottom. Right? So that's a weird relationship with money, right? What is your relationship with money? It's what I grew up with. And as a young adult, I never really felt a need to read anything about money because that felt vain. And being a Christian, that felt super vain. God would take care of me and money was not a problem. But that's not how it works. We could be the same with our bodies. We could be the same with our careers and everything. Where you're like, God will take care of me. I don't have to do anything. No, you have a brain, you have a mind, you have capabilities. You need to execute. You need to take care. You need to understand things. And you need excellence in all you do. That's just how you need to be. That's how you prosper. And so it's no question that with that mindset, I didn't go far with money because I didn't understand how I could position myself to get more of it, which is basically offer value. I didn't understand my value. Like, okay, I can offer my value and money will come to me. How does that work? It was so confusing for me, and I didn't even bother touch it. What was interesting for me though was when I started this self-improvement journey where I was aware of the fact that my business was struggling and I needed to man up or step up. What did I do? I started to learn more about myself, learn more about successful people, and I started getting deeper in my relationship with God. And when I remember going to church one day and the pastor there was like, you people feel queasy about money. And so many people do. When you're talking about money in church, people are like, okay, they want to take our money now. And I used to be that way too. If they talk about money, you're not getting none of my money. I'm not giving you anything. I'd rather give to a person randomly in the street than give to a church. That's how I used to be. And so when the pastor in that church that day started talking about money that way, I was like, okay, most Christians mean well. You have so many good ambitions to help people. You have good hearts. You're not corrupt, but you're so afraid of money. You have a weird relationship with money. So much so that you think God will give you money in a very magical way, but not you work for it, not you plan for it, not you manage it effectively. Made sense. Because most of our petitions were like, I want a scholarship, I want to build a home, I want to buy a home, I want school fees for my children, I want a promotion. All those things we were praying for were connected to money. But nobody wanted to look money in the face and say, I want you. How can I get you? All right? Oh, that doesn't sound good. But yeah, we didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. I knew that. But I knew that I wanted to build an empire. I wanted to employ people. I wanted to have a scholarship fund. And I was tired of helping people from poverty because I'm struggling and I'm helping somebody and we're struggling together. You know, I see somebody who wants and who is a brilliant young person who wants school fees. I feel like I want to support them. They're really struggling. They have no way of supporting themselves. But I can't because I don't have money. So I figured in that point that most of the things I want to achieve and all the help, all the good things depend on this legal tender on money. And my mindset was really shady. And so that's when I decided to work on it. And also just understanding that God is not really shy with money. God is not like, oh, don't talk about money. No. When he blessed anybody from Abraham to Isaac to Solomon to David, he would give them wealth, not just money for today. He would give them lots of gold, silver, and give them wisdom and help them solve problems and bring money. Imagine Joseph, right? In Egypt, there was a hunger for a long time, and Joseph never gave food for free. Joseph was like, okay, what do you have? Let's trade. And people brought their silver and their gold. And then when they didn't have anything, he took their land. I was like, okay, if you give me land, then I will give you food. God gave him that wisdom. God is not shy about money. And there's so much he has said in the Bible straight up about money. I don't get where we got this mindset that money is bad or money is evil. Because money can be obsessive. We can really exalt it in a weird relationship, so much so that it controls us. That's a different story. But for most of us who really just want to make things happen, who have value to offer, but what blocks us is the weird relationship we have with money and the perception and the mindset around it. It's just then a little weird and it's a limiting belief. It pulls us back. It sabotages us from the very things we want to achieve. So when I started going into the Bible and started seeing, when God was blessing people, he was always giving them wealth. He would say, I'll bless you in the city, I'll bless you in the country, I'll make your name great. And then you have too much that you won't be able to count. I'll give you gold, I'll give you silver. I was like, okay, so let's get to this. Let's understand, let's uncover what's going on under the hood. And that's when I realized that it is because of how I grew up and what I used to see around me that really brought me to a place where I didn't understand what money was, and I associated money with sin or unrighteousness or unholiness and selfishness, right? Because we didn't have it and we didn't understand how it came to people. So that lack of understanding led to misuse of information. And also I just associated, because of that mindset, I just love to associate with churches and religions and teachings that just elevated poverty and elevated pain and elevated lack. I just love to learn more and more about that, because for me I felt like that is like transcending my human needs and sitting at a table of righteousness, which I believe is not. Because most of the thing it led me to a lot of frustration, because most of the things I wanted to achieve and I'm still moved to achieve involve money. If I want to help orphans, money. And you find the crazy thing is most of the people who think money shouldn't be pursued will be the very people who are asking donors for money. Like in this setup in Malawi, my country, donors pour in a lot of money. And you find that people are preaching against money. People are preaching against money, and then they're the very first people who are going to say, proposals, please. Let's write proposals. Let's get that money. And then when the donors come, they're like, hey, running around it. It's like, just because you're getting it for free in a way doesn't change what it is. It's still money, right? We can attract it if we offer value. It follows value. And that was a game changer for me and my mindset. How then can we change our money mindset or up level it? If you already have a positive money mindset, well done. But then how can we up level it? How can we have a positive money mindset? First of all, let the past go. Forgive yourself, because money is such a key and part of life. When you make mistakes with it, a lot of negative things follow, right? So you can lose your home, you can lose your job, you can hurt people, you can steal, maybe, I don't know, but there's so many negative things that come with making money mistakes and not understanding money and having a negative mindset. Forgive yourself for those things. Let those things go. There is nothing you can do about the past except learn the lesson and get better. So if you can't change it, why are you carrying it? It will weigh you down. And carrying the past really just taints the future. It messes up your future. You don't need that. So let it go, forgive yourself, and learn from it. Now it's time to learn. Learn your value. Learn who you are, your strengths and your weaknesses. What do you offer to the table? How can you bring value to people? The trick that I think most people fall for is directly pursuing money. So you start a business. Why? I want money. And then you start whatever business and you pursue money. You can get it, but it's elusive, right? And it's also a consuming desire for money. The great way of approaching it in a way that is really going to be good for you, not just that you'll get the money, but also for your mindset, for your peace, is understanding yourself and your value. If you bring value to the table, money will follow you. If you see needs of people and you meet those needs, money will follow you. I don't know who said this quote, but I love it. It says, if you help enough people, then you will have your needs met. Something like that. What it means is if you think outside yourself, like, what value can I offer? You get to a point that you have offered so much value to people, now they pay you, right? So imagine when you want to buy something that you want and you love. Let's say you want an iPhone and it's an amazing iPhone. You've seen the specs. You're like, okay, I want it. They don't have to convince you. They don't have to sell you. And they don't have to trick you or twist your arm to get it. You just want it. You've seen the value it offers and the change it will make to your life and your quality of pictures or whatever need you want with it. Now imagine somebody brings maybe a similar phone that doesn't look so good. The value you don't understand. I won't mention brands. I'm so tempted. But we don't want that. No mentioning brands. Somebody brings another brand phone, it's not so good. You're like, okay, what is this? And they're telling you what it is. And then you're like, no, and they're trying to sell it to you. They'll have to work so hard to even get you to pay attention, right? Because the value is not clear and they don't understand what you're looking for. So that brought you something that is not going to be helpful to you. So you have to understand your value and who you're offering it to, and offer value first. Don't say, okay, this is how much it is, and then give me the money. No, first of all, offer value. What do you want in your life? Oh, you want a broom? I designed this broom. It's so amazing. Look how it works. Look how it takes away dust. Look how it sweeps on its own. Look how it's moving in the house. You don't even have to do the work. It's doing the work for you. And you're like, oh, it's doing the work for me. Bring that broom. You've offered value. Value has brought you income. Value brings you money. So understand yourself, understand your strengths. I'm giving funny examples, I know, but it can be anything. It can be something, a service that you offer, right? You're good maybe at babysitting, maybe you're good at writing, maybe you're good at driving people around. Whatever it is, understand your value and offer that value, and then their money will follow you. It'll come from there. And then learn, right? So this is you learning yourself by understanding your value, but also learn how money works, right? How does money work? How do loans work? How can I make money multiply? You don't make money multiply, but how can you be more efficient in what you do so that money can multiply, can keep coming to you, right? So you have to understand money. You have to learn about money. You have to learn about, not just, you don't have to learn the whole economy, but you just have to understand where money goes, how it comes to you, how can you save, how much tax you pay, just understanding the whole ecosystem of money. Because what you don't understand can easily be distorted and can easily be abused and can bring fear. And when you have fear around money, you can't really generate it. But the basic thing to understand is money follows value. And when you have a weird thing with money, you undervalue yourself, You can have a service that you offer that is so good, and because you have a weird situation with money, you can't even price your products right. You can't price your services right because you have this weird thing with money. So learn yourself, learn about money, learn the ecosystem of money, demystify money for you. That is where you start. When you demystify it and understand that money has no personality, money is just a tool. It's going to be bad in the hands of a bad person. It's going to be good in the hands of a good person. If your intentions are good with it, money won't take a character of its own. It's like a knife, right? You can use a knife for cutting food and it's serving a good purpose. Or you can use a knife for hurting people and stabbing people, and that's just crazy. But it's the same knife. So that's what money is, just a tool. The second thing you can do to improve your money mindset is watch who you hang around. Watch who you hang around or what you talk about money. So I used to hang around a lot of people who would complain about money, the lack of it, how it's not enough, even in our jobs. And it wasn't like I didn't have enough, but every time I would hang out with my friends, those are the things we talk about. So I could use more money. So hey, let's complain about that. So that really enforces the negative mindset. The beliefs that you're trying to get rid of will be reinforced by what you're talking about, the words you're pronouncing, the words you're saying, the conversations you're having. So watch who you're hanging around and also what you're talking about, especially about money, since we're talking about the money mindset. So it's always interesting when I change the type of people I'm hanging around with. I hang out with another group of people and money is not a topic even. People are just talking about the endeavors, the value they're offering, how the businesses are doing, what they're working on themselves, right? And they're not talking about the price of sugar or the price of salt or the price of cooking oil and how ridiculous the government is. Have you seen the inflation? It's a different vibe, right? So surround yourself with the vibe that will build you up. And usually we belittle these conversations because we're thinking, I'll just talk to them for an hour and I'll move on, there'll be nothing. But when we talk to people and we engage with people, we are reinforcing the mindset, right? Mindset is a very delicate thing. It receives what it receives. So your mind will receive the information, your mind, and because you're enjoying whilst you're talking, you're laughing, and then you're having a great time, your mind will absorb whatever you're learning in that space easily. And then it will come to sabotage you when you want your mind to step up into a different way of thinking. So you have to guard your mind against these negative talks, against these negative groupings, against all this negativity around money, all this talk about lack, celebrating abundance, and talking about we can't do anything to save ourselves. We need a new government, we need this. Things that you can't control, let them go. Don't talk about those. Talk about the things that are within your control and how you can be better by managing those. The other thing we can do is to really plan, budget, take care of what you have right now. That was a struggle for me because I didn't want to face my money. So I really just closed my eyes to it and I didn't want to talk about how much it was because I always felt like I deserve more. Because I had this ambition to build this empire and have lots of resources, just sitting down to budget on a smaller amount made me feel like I don't have enough. I don't want to do that. I don't want to face that. So those were some insecurity issues and such drama in my money mindset. But it's important for you to plan. You're not going to get more if you don't manage well what you have. And even when you get more, you know what happens? It just flows out because you have so many holes in your bucket, right? So picture yourself having a bucket and it has big holes right there. No matter how much water you put, the bucket will keep losing water and it will never get full. So you have to manage what you have right now. Even the Bible talks about you being a good steward. You have to be a good steward. If you're not good with the little you have, nobody will entrust you with more. If you can't manage the little you have, how will you do with a bigger portfolio? You will do badly. So budget. And one thing I love about budgets, or one idea or a tip that I love about budgets is budget to zero. See the money you get and budget it to zero. Make sure there is no leftover money. Not that you should spend it all. What it means is every dollar, every kwacha should have somewhere it's going. Whether it's going to your savings, to an investment, to giving, to supporting, to your expenses, to your utility, to rent, to school, whatever it is, money has to have a purpose. If it doesn't have a purpose, it's going to be wasted. So don't have like, okay, I spend all my money. Now I have 200,000 kwacha left in there. I don't know what to do with it. No. Every cent, every kwacha has to be going somewhere. I think that's a really brilliant idea. That way you won't have like money you just spend and don't know how you account it for. So even little things that you do, like your fun, your nails, when you just go out to eat, don't just say it's too little, I can't budget for it. Set aside money for it, because you want to be a good steward. You want to be able to see how you spend. You want to be able to analyze where you can do better, because what you don't track, you can't improve, right? Also, that could be the accountant side of me speaking. But if you're not a good steward of what you have right now, you won't do well at a higher level. And we need to get to that higher level, and to get there, we need to be responsible with our current level. Next thing is, you have to know your why, your motivation. Why are you doing all this? Are you doing all this for just the sake of it? Do you have a target, a goal? Know your motivation. I say my goal all the time is to build a multi-billion-dollar empire. And so every time I have an opportunity to do well on my current level, I'm doing it with that goal in mind. What goal do you want to achieve? What do you have in mind? What is motivating you? Because if you're doing all the work and you have no reason, you have no motivation, you will fall away. It won't feel any different if you just don't have a budget, because you're not going anywhere anyways. So you have to be able to have your destination in mind. What is your motivation? Where are you going? And if this is clear, and if you can quantify it and write it down, even better. Because also this prevents you from developing negative mindset that comes with comparison, right? I'm talking about building a multi-billion-dollar industry, but I am not anywhere near that. And there are people who are doing well. They don't even have a goal as big as mine, but they're doing way better than me right now. And if I compare myself with that, it can be frustrating or disappointing. Then I can really start feeling like, okay, maybe I'm not doing enough, whatever it is. We have different journeys. Comparison is a thief of all joy. It takes away joy. And so focus on your lane. Focus on what is before you. And knowing your why will help you focus. Knowing your why will take away competition and comparison. That's noise, that's distraction. You won't learn the lesson in your lane if you keep looking to the left, to the right, and back, and whatever. So focus on where you're going, focus on your why, know your why, write it down, and pursue it aggressively. In the same vein of focusing on your why, it's important to understand that you have limiting beliefs. These are beliefs that you hold, you might be aware of or not, but they pull you back, they sabotage your growth. So it can be beliefs that money doesn't grow on trees, don't use it. Or money is special, it only goes to specific types of people. Whatever limiting beliefs that you have about money, whatever beliefs generally that you have about money, how it works, what you need to achieve to come onto a lot of it. One belief that I had that really imprisoned me was believing that you have to work really hard and have no space for anything else in your life for you to generate money. And so when I quit my job, I think also in my job that was really reinforced, because the more I rose the ranks, the more work we got to do. So we could stay nighters at the office, like up to 2 a.m. we're in the office, we're working hard, we are managers, we're getting things done. And that reinforces the same thing, right? Because you are now prominent, you're now rising the ranks, and now you have to work so hard, you're barely at home, you have no time for anything, you knock off, you complain, but you go back tomorrow and do it again. And that reinforced that belief for me. And growing up, I saw my mom work so hard, my dad work so hard, not have time, be everywhere, go to fields, and their job put a demand on them, and then they're tired, but they have to go back again and travel again. So the belief that came was, you have to work so hard and have nothing else in your life to make money. And when I quit my job and I went into entrepreneurship, that's what I did. And I own a farm, and working on that farm for me meant I'm up by 4 a.m. I'm gone. And I was doing things that I didn't need to do. I didn't need to dig. I didn't need to wake up so early and organize and spray and do all those farm routines. I didn't need to do that. I had people who do that, but I just felt like I should be putting some pressure on myself. I should be stressed. I should be uncomfortable. I should not have time for anything if I'm to make money. And that's what I really wanted to do, because that's a belief that I had. So that is what I did. I pushed myself. I didn't want to have a life. And sometimes I had nothing to do at the farm, but I would find something to keep me busy. I would plant with people. I'd be everywhere, because deep down I really didn't understand how I could succeed without really being stressed and having no life and just struggling, right? That was a belief that I had. And when I started working on myself, that changed. I needed to offer value. And there's the more value you offer and the more clarity you have with the value you offer, the less you have to work. So I was no longer chasing money. Now I was creating value. I focused on how can I create value? How can I create a system that works even without me? Then the mindset change helped the money mindset. And then understanding that, oh, this is a limiting belief that has been passed on to me and reinforced by me over time, and I have to undo it. So now the limiting belief, which was you have to work so hard and have no life to make money, has been replaced with a belief that offer value. Money follows value. The more value you give, the less you may have to work. So write down your limiting beliefs or all the beliefs you have about money and analyze them. Are these true? And if you're not sure if they're true or not, read something about them, watch a video about them, and then see, are they helping you? Even if something is true, is it really serving you? Is it really supporting you? Like money does not grow on trees. That's true. It doesn't grow on trees. But what does it imply? It means money is a rare resource. Money is not rare. Governments are printing money right now, and it moves to people who have value. There are people right now who have too much money, they don't know what to do with it. What do? They offer value, and people bring their money willingly to them. If you find your value, money stops being such a rare resource. Money just follows value, and you are a divine, amazing person with ideas that could be executed and offer value, and that value will bring that money flowingly to you. Now this is a cool one. Another thing that you can do to uplevel your money mindset is to give. 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 If you're a Christian, you know the drill, right? Give and it comes back to you. But even without the faith aspect in there, you have to understand that you have to disempower money. If you elevate it to a point where it's like, oh, money, it controls you, and then you can't be able to offer value or work with it, you'll have a weird relationship and you won't find abundance in that. What you do with giving is you're showing that and declaring to yourself that this is something you can bring back. This is something you can generate. Right? So you can give it freely, and it really does come back because you're giving value, right? So you're giving it and you're disempowering it over your life. You're letting go, right? And you're telling your mind, you're telling yourself that we can make more. We generate income. We offer value that makes money so we can pass on and bless other people. Giving is one way of really upleveling your mindset. Giving can be in any way. You can give to church, you can give to the poor, you can give to those who are in need, you can give to your family, you can give just to be a blessing to people who are not struggling, but you just want to bless their lives. When you adopt the identity of a giver, that's what you're going to be. The identity of a giver means you have enough, you have abundance, and you're passing it on. You have abundance and you're passing it on. That identity in itself is a mindset shift that will help you see more ideas, more opportunities to generate and bring more income to yourself. The last point that I'm going to share is be grateful. What you focus on expands. And when you focus on what you don't have, it expands. It looks bigger. And it can possess your life, control your life, because you're like, I don't have it. And in that space of I don't have, I can't, I have no access, in that space, there is a limit, right? So it limits your creativity. It limits how you see opportunities, because you can't be in this space where you're thinking, I don't have and I can't, and then see opportunities. It's not possible. Opportunities come to open minds. Opportunities come to generous minds, because that's where creativity flourishes. Where you are right now, be grateful. And also budgeting and planning, that's one way of being grateful. You're like, I have enough for now, so I have to take care of it. So be grateful. Don't look at what you don't have. Look at what you do have. You have data to be able to watch this video. You have a smartphone. You have so many blessings in your life. This is not to say you shouldn't aspire for more, but it's just to say be content where you are, because there's always room to improve. So if you never get to a place where you're grateful, you just keep rising the ranks and being in the space of lack of gratitude. You never arrive. So get to a place where you can actually say, hey, thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you for your provision today. Thank you that I'm able to do what I'm able to do. Thank you that I have these resources. I really hope this was helpful for you. Money is key for life, but it is not the end of it all. It's not an end in itself. When you find who you are, what you're good at, and position yourself right, and have right mindset and self-worth, money will come to you because you'll be offering value. You don't have to pursue it and chase it around. It will control you. It's a bad, bad God, but it's a good servant. It's a good slave. So when you do it well. Focus on the impact you want to make. Focus on how you want to position yourself, who you want to add value to. Then money will flow to you. There is so much we can talk about money. I hope this video was helpful. For more cool videos like this, stick around. Subscribe, like, and share. Leave a comment. I'm all over the socials. You can find me everywhere. Mavis Zaina Kanjata. Get in touch. Let's connect. I always love to hear from you. That's all for now. See you soon.